Welcome everybody to our DRS training series. This is a brand new training series, and I know that we're really excited to be having this because as you know, shop.com and Market America is taking a really strong interest and focus in internet marketing. As unfranchised owners, we more than ever need a way to simplify our approach to internet marketing and online marketing. And so one of the things that's really great about the DRS opportunity is that that's exactly what it does. It's not just a website, which is contrary to what most people believe, that when you get a DRS website, what you're getting is a website to brand yourself. Absolutely. That is one of the things that you get. And it's an incredible value because it's built on our MA Web Center's technology. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But more than that, it's an entire online marketing strategy. And so this series is going to give you digestible tasks and actionable items that you can take to really take full advantage of the entire DRS opportunity. And so what we're seeking to do is once per month, put out an hour-long to 90-minute training on some new area so that you can start using not only the website itself more in your prospecting, your recruiting, and in your own personal branding, but also to use the marketing tools that come with the DRS more effectively. And so we're going to go through a whole lot of details around all of these items. We're not going to just talk to you about, in theory, what are some of the things that you could be doing with this. We're going to be talking about how do you actually set up and physically use the different tools, and how do you literally, how do you actually make an edit to a page? How do you set up your SEO? How do you use social media links? How do you make everything work? We're going to go through the actual technological part of all of that, but then we're going to also talk about application. So it's not just about building yourself a beautiful website that accurately represents who you are as an internet entrepreneur. It's also about how can you use this website to brand yourself? How do you use it in conjunction with the social media stuff that you're doing, or even in just one-to-one prospecting? How can you use our SEO tools to, show up and get better ranking on Google? How can you use our email marketing campaign? I posted in our IMBO group today an article about some successful tips and strategies for email marketing. And typically we are sharing these articles with small business owners, traditional business owners that are clients of the MA Web Center's platform. Well, again, as this company has this awesome new directive in the direction of internet marketing, these are tools and resources that we could be using to build our business so much faster than we were capable of doing 20 years ago. And so again, we want to just break it down into digestible, palatable, action items that you can just start to use and really put to work. Now, something that's also happening in tandem with all of this is that myself and my husband Ryan and Carl Eklund and Jody, our teams are working together on a weekly system as well. And so we are putting out small videos in addition to this monthly series that we're doing together, and we are putting it to work. So what's really cool about that is that everything that you hear at the beginning of the month, because this DRS series is taking place on the first Tuesday of every month, is going to not only go through the technical details for putting that tool to use in the application, but it's also going to be duplicatable items, because one of the really great things about these business builders working together is that we've got a group of about 80 people that are implementing the strategies that we're teaching on this webinar series. And it's already been done and, again, duplicated inside of an organization before it hits you on a training series. And I just think that that's incredible, because for as long as we've had DRS, and guys, Jeremy launched the DRS program years ago, and it took until really recently for people to finally wake up and say, wow, I really want to start using my DRS. There's been people out there that bought one and never set it up. They bought one, they never even logged in to see what they had available to them. But again, as the company matures and as we start to really delve into the world of internet marketing, this is going to be more and more helpful, useful, and prominent in your business approach today. So again, I'm just really, really excited about this series. I think that it's been a long time coming, and I'm really happy to be here sharing these strategies with you. So with that being said, welcome to the DRS University, again, where we're going to have an ongoing training series. This is a monthly series that's happening on the first Tuesday of every month. And again, the strategies that you learn on this particular series that you're registered for have all been implemented and tested. And again, you're learning the basics and even advanced skills with videos, demonstrations, everything that you need to know. And most importantly, these are duplicatable strategies for your organization. This is not a system for just the internet superstars or the people that just really get it. We want to break this down so that anybody can watch this series or anybody can, do a little bit of trial and error and make this work for them. Because guys, when you see the kinds of results that we've had, even just our team, you're going to want to figure out how to do it. It's just like when the internet finally came out and you had all of the old school business builders kind of saying, yeah, but I just want to deliver product and blah, 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 blah. It's great. That strategy is always going to work. That, if you want to knock on someone's door and drop off product, that's fine. But, that doesn't mean that there's not a better way or that there's a way where you could reach more customers. That's kind of how I view the DRS opportunity. All of the old school approaches work. The DRS just makes it better. It just makes it more effective. It just makes it more efficient. And you know what? It requires a little bit of learning, and that's just part of the deal, right? If we're going to be professionals, I don't care what industry you consider yourself a professional in. If you want to consider yourself a professional of any kind, you agree to be a lifelong learner. And that is absolutely no different in our industry and in this business. And so I realize that in 10 years, there's going to be some other great thing that I'm going to commit to learning so that I can be ahead of the curve and take advantage of things rather than be at the, tail end of the parade. So, for tonight, for the very first series, we are going to be focusing on the basics, the fundamentals, and on getting started. So we're going to start off by just explaining exactly what DRS is and what it is not. Because again, I really do feel like there are a lot of misconceptions about what a DRS is, and should I use WordPress? Is WordPress better than DRS? Or what about Constant Contact versus our email? There's all kinds of questions that I see floating around out there, and what I want to do is just be able to answer that for you, so that you have a very solid understanding of what you have available at your fingertips. And when you realize the amount of tools, resources, and technology that you have available to you for just $16.95 per month, you're not going to believe it. It's unreal. I mean, this is below wholesale in my opinion. So from there, once you have a solid understanding of what the DRS is, we're going to go through how to actually launch your DRS website. And I'm going to walk you through making edits, adding pictures, adding videos, removing pages that you don't want that exist on the DRS when you first set it up. All of that important stuff that you need to do so that you have enough content on your site that you're proud of and you can start using the website right away. And then finally, we want to make sure that you know how to purchase and attach a domain name to your website and how to add an email address. So that's just, our website is thestackgrp.com, and my email is sararose@thestackgrp.com. And so at the goal here, the end goal at the end of this series is that you have a to-do list where if you activate your account and you start a DRS, the very first steps are customizing the content, getting rid of the content you don't want, adding a domain name, and adding an email address. The idea here, guys, is that once you've done these things, you're 100% ready to start using your distributor recruiting site. You can use that website in your prospecting right off the gate, and typically this process should take you 1 to 2 hours. It's a 1 to 2 hour investment, and guys, all I can say is this: when I start telling you some of the stories and the success stories that we've had, prospecting, this is just such an excellent soft prospecting tool, because when people ask you what you're doing and you can send them to a customized website that personally brands you rather than a specific company or business opportunity, it's a whole different ball game, right? Because now you're not trying to get them into quote unquote something, but rather you're just, an internet entrepreneur. You are a professional This is your website. This is what you are doing. And the opportunity to have a completely customized website in your prospecting today, it really does make the world of a difference, guys. It also affects the way you communicate. And there's a whole plethora of reasons. But again, we'll get there. I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's just start by identifying what marketamerica.com is, what shop.com is, and what DRS is, because, we do have a ton of websites available to us, replicated websites. And by the way, just a side note, we recently at International Convention just released a brand new internet sales and marketing training series, a day 1 and a day 2. And it helps you to really position yourself to use these websites the most effective way. But the first step is to just understanding what they're best used for and what they're not supposed to necessarily be used for. So marketamerica.com, what it is, it's a corporate website, right? This is that third-party validation that you need. It's all the corporate information. It's our complete overview of our entire company inside and out, right? If an unfranchised owner prospect is looking to follow up, a really great place to send them is to marketamerica.com, because on this website, it's all of the credibility that you need. It's built in the style of a Fortune 500 website. There's analytics, there's statistics, there's information on our philosophy, our management team, our executive team, our foundation, all about our company. Everything is there. The annual report, all the things that you need are right there. It's exactly the kind of credibility that you need in a good follow-up. Now, here's the deal, guys. When I use marketamerica.com, I'm never sending my initial prospects there first, because when they get there, all they learn about is Market America Inc., right? But what I want them to learn about is really just whether or not they have an interest in owning a business. And Market America Incorporated or marketamerica.com may or may not, inspire those kinds of thoughts. And that's where having a customized website or still having a one-on-one conversation comes into play. Now, what is marketamerica.com not? It is not customizable, right? So you can't control the content that's on that replicated website. And what I mean by replicated website is that we all have a marketamerica.com/our business name, right? And so we can send people to those sites, and that's a good thing. But again, it's not customizable and it doesn't grab leads. It's not personalized to what you specialize in, and it's not reflective of your recruiting style. If you want specific videos on there that you really, let's say you love the way Elizabeth Weber shows the plan and you want that to be the plan that they see, and not the 30 or 26-minute video that is on there, or the 22-minute video that's on there, right? You can't swap out content. So that can really hinder how that is as a first look. It could be very overwhelming as a first look. And that's why I like to use marketamerica.com, again, mostly in follow-up. Now, what about shop.com, right? We have a marketamerica.com replicated website and we have a shop.com replicated website. Well, shop.com is your shopping website. It's the place where you would send your customers, right? And so guys, it's the best shopping website on the planet, right? We've got everything. We've got so many tools. And again, in that internet sales and marketing training, you learn not only what those tools are and those little bits of technology, those little widgets that we have, but you learn the best way to use them with your customers. And that website could just generate so many sales if we only knew how to direct our customers to exactly what they're looking for. In fact, guys, just a little side tip, we need to start thinking about our shop.com website the same way that we think of any retail major, right? So if you majored, for example, in isotonics and you're meeting with someone and they're just looking to get started with some basic general health, you might get them on a multivitamin and OPC3. And that's just because that's indicative of their initial commitment, right? They want to get started. They're not ready to just go all in and be in a complete optimal health regime. So you start them there, right? That's great. But ultimately, your goal is to build share of customer and recommend a vitamin D or, a calcium or just some other product or joint health or some other product that would be helpful for them. But you do it one thing at a time. Your shopping website, guys, we should be treating it the same way. If we can determine what our customers want and just say, hey, look, if you're looking to just, save the most amount of money, here's what I recommend you do. Sign up for a preferred customer program so you can be earning cash back, and just download Shop Buddy so that you can always have the deals and the coupon codes available to you. And then once they start doing that and you maybe get them shopping on specific stores that we're partners with, then maybe at that point you can also introduce them to comparative shopping or some other really great tool that we have. But again, the shop.com website that's what it's there for. It's there for shopping, right? It features the MA brands, partner stores, cash back. This absolutely can lead to prospecting opportunities because a lot of times when you send your customers to shop.com, they'll ask you a question like, what is this? And how did you get to own one of these? And so it starts a conversation about the business, and that's a good thing. And so it's funny, we're going to start seeing in this next decade, when you ask people who was a product of the product first, people are going to start raising their hands and they're going to be talking about the website. They were preferred customers first, not necessarily just a TLS weight loss solutions customer first. Another great way to use shop.com is to showcase the multi-million-dollar technology that all franchise owners have. I learned this from Carl. Really great way to sit down with a business prospect and say, so you get your marketamerica.com replicated website. This is the business opportunity. You also get this incredible shopping website that makes shopping for your customers extremely convenient, profitable, and just a good use of their time, right? And so it's a great prospecting tool as well. But, predominantly shop.com is a shopping website. It is not an overview of Market America. You can't show the plan here anymore. It's not, again, you can't customize this to just swap out entire information. Everything that's done on your shop.com website is managed by our IT team, and they're actually incredibly brilliant, but it's not customizable. We do have custom menu websites and all kinds of, customized shopping experiences that you can offer. But, shop.com is the mothership, right, of all of the shopping websites that we have. And just keep in mind that that's exactly what it is. It's managed for us. And by the way, that saves us thousands, if not millions of dollars to have this $1 million website managed for us. That's a good thing. But again, it is not customizable. And if you are using it for prospecting and recruiting, you're using it just in the terms that I described before, as an opportunity to showcase the technology and the opportunity. So what about DRS? What is it? This is your opportunity to have a personal website, a personal branded site, right? And that, I believe, is going to be more and more important as we start implementing a lot of this technology and just the way that we do business is changing, right? You can choose your favorite brands, your favorite videos, your favorite content. This is all about you. And so what's really cool about this is that this is not a website for you to just talk about Market America or talk about shop.com. You're branding yourself. And so if you happen to be a fitness instructor, and you major in TLS and maybe also in the health and nutrition line, then part of your personal website can be all about your fitness background and your fitness classes that you're offering, right? You can combine and get really, really creative on here. So Ryan and our website is all about business and leadership and speaking and training and the opportunity. It's everything that we want on our website to represent what it is that we do. And so that's going to be different than what it is that you do. So if that makes sense, this is just a really great way for you to showcase exactly who you are and how you fit into the opportunity, as well as an opportunity for you to cherry pick the kinds of content that you want on there for your prospects to see. And we'll talk about exactly how this becomes such a soft prospecting tool. But what you need to understand is that it is absolutely a chance to generate more leads, because when you're out talking to people and they ask you what you do and you send them to your website and you say, hey, check out my site, it's thestackgrp.com, and they go there and they actually just kind of spy on you. They click through your website, they read all about what you're doing. It's just passive prospecting at that point, right? You're not sitting there having to sweat out exactly what you're going to say because your website is saying it for you. And guys, believe me, if you run into people that you know and then you send them to your website and it's a personalized website customized to who you are, about you and about the opportunity that that you're presenting, and it's all of those things, the chances are they're going to click through it a lot more. Now, if you just sent them to marketamerica.com /your name, they may click on it, it, but wouldn't you agree that if it was actually personalized to you, that they would click on it a lot longer? They would stay on the site longer. And that's ultimately what we want. We want that stickiness. So I absolutely love this. It's a virtual funnel. Guys, I post stuff on social media, and at the bottom of like these little, like I'll make these memes, and at the bottom, not every time, but a lot of times I'll add the Stack GRP on there. And I literally have friends that I went to college with, texting me saying, "What exactly are you doing? I just checked out your website and you're doing all this crazy stuff. That's awesome. How did you get into that?" It's so weird. I remember when we were in college together, we were both music majors, and now you're out like running businesses. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's what I do. I actually, I own my own business, and we teach other people how to do the same thing. That's literally what we dedicate our time to. And it starts a conversation. But the chances are that if I had only put the Market America replicated site on the bottom of those memes or my posts or with people, they would look on it and they'd be like, oh, that's cool. They're doing a home-based business. And they wouldn't realize the opportunity that they're missing. And so I just really think that there's a big opportunity here, because every single business builder in this company will tell you the same thing. When you're talking to a prospect, they buy you, and they buy whether or not they think you actually are interested in helping them. And so when I'm talking to my prospects, my number one goal is to figure out what it is that they want, and to build rapport and to build trust. And you do that by having a one-on-one conversation. You do that by being yourself. And what better way to do that online than by having a website that depicts who you are, right? Not just who the company is. What is DRS not? DRS is not a replacement for MarketAmerica.com. I still use MarketAmerica.com in my follow-up because I want that third-party Fortune 500 style website, that credibility. I want to use that. I don't want to just replicate MarketAmerica.com on my DRS, because there's no point in doing that. We don't need another website with the exact same, information. It is not a replacement for shop.com, right? People can't buy products on there. And it's not a reason to no longer prospect. So, when we say DRS, sometimes people think, oh, if I get one of these on franchise owner prospects, they're just going to pop out of a box. It's not like that. This is actually meant to enhance your prospecting and recruiting. And so just keep that in mind so that your expectations are in the right place, and so that you understand what you need to do so that you can get the most out of this. Another really cool thing about DRS, it's built on MA Web Center's technology. So Web Center clients, small business owners, restaurant owners, doctors, lawyers, etc., they buy a website from MA Web Centers, and they're spending $60 per month to have the website and all of the tools that we are going to be talking about today, briefly anyway. And they spend $60 a month, 60. You guys get the exact same technology minus e-commerce, and that's because that we have specific rules against selling on third-party websites. You get every single other tool, marketing tool, the website opportunity, the 24/7 chat support, all of that, and you spend $16.95 a month. 1/6. That's it. That's insane. I mean, again, like I said earlier, that's below wholesale. And what's really great about this is that it's made for this whole system was built so that the average person, the average business owner, or their staff would be able to manage their own online marketing strategy. We wanted to loosen the grip that web designers and industry professionals had on small business owners, where anytime they needed a change or anytime they needed any kind of anything done for their entire online strategy, they had to call a web designer up and pay them like $200 an hour. So we wanted to offer something where they could control these items, where they had the dynamic possibilities of a really great solution, but the flexibility and the ease of use so that they could manage it themselves. So you don't need to be a web designer to be able to do this. And you're going to see that when I demonstrate for you today how you can edit content and add videos and add photos, right? There's no need for programming skills. It's all drag and drop technology. So again, you don't need to know how to code. You don't need to do any of that. Honestly, guys, if you can send an email, browse the internet, or just work in Microsoft Word, you have all of the skills that you need to be able to use this system. Now, keep in mind, guys, just like any other new platform, or even a widget that you download or an app that you download on your phone, there's a small learning curve. And so don't get frustrated. There's unlimited free access to live chat support. So I always say, look, there's no point in getting frustrated when you can spend as many hours a day or an evening as you'd like having support from a professional. So whenever I was doing something new or using a new feature of the software, I always had live chat open and I was asking my questions in real time so that I could, save time trying to figure it out with trial and error. But again, it's just like anything. You guys, I downloaded Snapchat a couple of weeks ago, and I swear it took me like 2 weeks to figure it out. And it's so silly. It's a simple little app. The app isn't so difficult to use. It's just different. And so I just, the best way to learn it is to just keep playing with it and keep using it until you figure it out. And that's going to be true here. It's going to be true on Facebook. It's going to be true on any new thing that you're doing. So just don't get discouraged. Use the live chat support. Understand you have the skill set you need, but there is a learning curve and you just have to be ready for that and accept it. And just, like I said, be a professional, be a lifelong learner and work through it. But like I've been saying all along, it's more than just a website. It's fully customizable. It's drag and drop technology, but you can have personalized domain names, as many as you want. You get unlimited email accounts, right? You get an email marketing system. Now that's very important. As you see, Jeremy has been working, and our team actually, we've been working with Andrew Bonner and the social media team to do a lot to work together to make infographics and other email templates available so that unfranchised owners can send out email blasts to their customers, prospects, and just people that they know, right? That's going to be huge. We are making this so incredibly turnkey. We don't want you to have to, create designs or content from scratch. We want to make it as simple as just drag this in here, customize a couple of things and send it out. But by the way, we will still always leave that custom option available for you. So if you are the kind of person that does want to send out custom email campaigns and have your own custom design, that's cool. You're totally open to do that. And that's one of the things that I love about this system. Every single thing that I'm going to show you has an easy start option. It has a preloaded design already loaded in there that you can choose to just edit and swap out some text and pictures, or you can completely change the design and the content as much as you want. 100% customizable. You can set up autoresponders. We now can set up landing pages, customer relationship management system. That is huge, guys. SEO tools are included. Social media tools are included. Free mobile website design included. And tons of upgrades. In the next couple of weeks, you guys, you're going to see free responsive website design that's being upgraded both to our MA Web Centers clients and to the DRS clients. And so, again, as we upgrade and as we evolve, your account is automatically updated. Every single time you log into your DRS, you're logging into the most updated, secure version of the program. And that is huge. There's no need to stop and deal with an annoying download or click update or any of those annoying things that take time. It's all done remotely for you on the server so that when you log in, you're good. Another cool thing, guys, is that this isn't a system that you have to download on a single machine. It's cloud-based. So anywhere you can log in online using your own credentials, you're going to have access to all of these things. And our business is incredibly mobile, right? We're in other people's homes. We're, traveling for work all the time. A lot of us are stay at home, right? And we're out and about. And so the fact that you're not limited to your desktop computer that you happen to download this program onto is really great as well. So take a look at some of the designs. This is the Motives website design. There's a ton of major specific designs that have been preloaded in here. And I'm just going to show you a couple. This is one called In Your Own Way. It's just a pretty, easy setup. It's green. It is what it is. But it's just, you can see there's some great preloaded videos on there, some recommended content, that kind of a thing. This is the shop.com Internet Entrepreneur theme, right? And again, you're going to see more themes being rolled out in the upcoming months. This is the Internet Entrepreneur layout. And here's what I'm going to say. This is the most editable layout. This layout actually used to be my actual website. When we first launched our DRS, we took we just made a completely customized one from scratch, and this is what we came up with. We wanted the I'm an Entrepreneur video. It's a quick little video, and then if people are interested, they put their email in here. They click View Now, and then it sends me their email, so I know that they were interested, and it also sends them an autoresponder and lets them know the About MA PDF, and we'll be contacting them. A lot of cool stuff. Now, actually, Ryan designed this design, and it's really simple, but I really liked it. And what I really liked about this was how easy it was to swap out content. And so we ended up giving this design to MA Web Centers, and then they did this, and they made it even more turnkey and even better for you guys. So when you choose to activate the entrepreneur layout, which is this one you see here, a lot of this stuff is already done. When you put your email address in here, it automatically updates here so that when people put their email, you don't even have to program it. Once you launch your website, if people actually fill out this field, it's going to go ahead and send you those responses to the email that you used when you activated your account. You can change that. And again, just talk to chat support and have them help you do it. It's really, really simple stuff. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, if you're looking to really swap out content and not stick with the preloaded designs and layouts that I just showed you on Motives or Shop or any of the other ones that are in the back end, there's several. There's like 30 of them. Then this is the one I recommend that you use. This is absolutely the most editable one. This is what my website looks like now. So we ended up redesigning it because, like I said, we really wanted this to be all about us. And so we have our picture up here, training, our blogs are up here about us, a little bit about who we are, maximizing your business with the right potential. We swapped out the I'm an Entrepreneur video with the shopping annuity video just because I thought it was a really great one. We've got a little bit of a teaser about who we are and our experience, and then it links to our power profile, and then learn more about the opportunity. This is the thing, guys. You can do whatever you want. There are people that have designed even more beautiful and more dynamic designs. You literally can customize this however you want. This one is Dennis Franks. His design and what who he is very different than who we are, right? And so I love this. Life is a contact sport. To win, you have to be in the game, learn more. And when you click on learn more, it actually goes to his opportunity page where he talks about the opportunity from his point of view. And I love this. There's a nice black and white picture of him in the background and him speaking. It's a now and then kind of thing. And I just think that this really, truly, it positions Dennis as Dennis. And so when Dennis is talking to his friends and family and his colleagues and the people that he knows, and they're asking him what he's up to, when they send them to this website, they look at this and they go, aha, that is Dennis, right? They're not looking at that and going, oh, Dennis is part of a company. Dennis started a business with a franchise. Dennis is now Market America. Dennis is now shop.com. They look at this website and they go, that's Dennis. And that's what you want your DRS to do for yourself. Now, this is incredibly duplicatable. This is actually Derek Rosenbaum, just hit Senior Master Coordinator, and he swapped out a little bit of the content. He took that I'm an Entrepreneur layout that we created. He customized it his way. He wanted it to be a little bit darker colors, a little bit more modern stuff. He put a quote in there. He had different content, a different blog, just, simple stuff. And I thought it looked really great. So I'm just showing you guys that anybody can do this. So it's all about simplification, right? Think of all the ways that you're generating interest right now. I mean, there's so many places that we are. I mean, we're talking to people one-on-one. You're texting. You're on social media. There's all the university majors and all their training systems. There's one-to-one prospecting. And there's all these places you can send them. You could send the Market America website, shop.com, Motives, Isotonics, TLS Slim, getconquer.com. There's all these places that you can be sending your prospects. But here's what I feel like. At the end of the day, when I'm prospecting and recruiting, my number one goal is to keep it as personal as possible, because I treat my online recruiting and my one-on-one recruiting exactly the same way. I keep the focus on the other person, and, I want to know all about them, and I want to lead them to a place where they're going to know about me, because I want to have a conversation with people. I don't want to just have, a situation where someone asks a question and I send them a ton of information that overwhelms them, so they end up reading nothing, right? But just at the end of the day, this is your virtual catch net, right? When you're talking to people, again, like on social media or even in person, when you send them to your website, they do the clicking. You don't even have to do anything. And they do that at their own convenience, their own leisure, and they feel comfortable because they can take their time and read the stuff they want to read and not feel like you're breathing down their neck. You know what I mean? I think it's such a great way to prospect. I truly do. And what I will tell you is this. Because of online resources, the DRS 100% included in that, social media strategies, etc. Our business grew by over 100 people in less than a year. And we have people hitting pin levels. We have several master coordinators now, senior master coordinators. We have people that are just growing their business, hitting new unfranchised levels, and just incredible business growth happening. And it's all about whether or not you can actually simplify your approach to start using these tools in an effective way. It really, truly is going to come down to that. So before we talk about how to get started, I want to very quickly, I'm not going to walk you through the strategies right away, but I want you to understand the basic concept of how to use the DRS once it's set up. Because again, this is not once you set up your DRS, now prospects are going to pop out of a box kind of situation. I want you to know what your goal is for using this website. All right. The first thing is to personalize the site. This is your site. It needs to represent who you are. The second step is to qualify some prospects and get people interested, right? That's the next thing that you're doing. From there, you're going to work with interested prospects with effective follow-up strategies using your DRS if you so choose. And then finally, once you've been using your DRS with your warm markets, you're going to start using the marketing tools. Now, that's really important because a lot of you guys are going to see these marketing tools and go, well, if I don't have to talk to the people I know anymore, I can just start email marketing and SEOing and la, la, la. At the end of the day, that's harder to do than talking to your warm market because at that point, you're starting from ground zero, right? If you join, like a Facebook group with 1,000 people and they're all like stay-at-home moms looking for business opportunities, you can send them to your website all day long. But unless you are building relationships with those people, the quality of that business connection and that relationship is not going to be great. It's not going to be qualified. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking to build business partners for life. And I want to build a network. I'm not just looking for one person. I'm looking to build a network, right? And so to build a network, you got to have rapport. You have to have commitment and loyalty and trust. And to do that, you have to invest time. There's no other way about that. And so the marketing tools are used to do a couple of things. Number one is to generate interest so you can open up a conversation and begin to build rapport. It's also a really great resource that you can do to continue to build upon relationships and to continue to build rapport. But again, you need to refine those interpersonal skills and understand how to even just use your website before you can start using these marketing tools effectively, because all that's going to happen, guys, if you use this prematurely, is you're going to generate a lot of leads, but then we're going to mess them up. And we don't want to do that. So let's make sure that we take the steps in the right order. So the first step is to customize your site. And again, that is exactly what tonight's webinar is 100% dedicated to. And so we're going to get to that in just a minute. But remember, this is not, you are not Market America. You are not shop.com. You are not Motives the brand. You are you. And that's who you want to be. You want to customize the website to be, reflective of who you are as an unfranchised owner, as a business owner, as an internet entrepreneur. This, with that comes preparing your DRS. And again, this is just a follow-up. This is exactly what we're doing today. The preloaded content is great. There's some good suggested content in there, but it's not dynamic unless it's customized to you. And you don't have to go nuts with this, guys. There's a couple of things that I'm going to recommend that you do right off the bat tonight. And that's what I'm going to ask you to implement. And then over time, you're going to add new pages. This month, there's a couple of pages I want to add to my website, and I'm going to do that. But I want to have you understand one thing. You can have your site up and running today with a few modifications that is going to put you in a place where you can actually start using it. But if you wait until you feel like your website is absolutely perfect and it's never going to be done. It's just never going to be done. You need to do the phase 1 launch. Follow what we talk about on tonight's webinar. Do it and then launch your website in a couple hours, 1 to 2 hours, and then start using the thing. And then every month, as we start talking about different things, just give yourself a goal of adding an additional page or using a new marketing tool or something like that. But, We don't want to just spend all of our time designing a website this month, right? Or, thinking of the most amazing content this month, because that's going to slow down your momentum and your actual business building. And that is the complete opposite of what you want to happen. You don't want to slow down your momentum. You want to increase your momentum. And so to do that, you're just going to have to keep it simple and just agree to not be a perfectionist right away. The next step is to identify prospects. So, again, this doesn't just come with prospects that pop out of a box. So where do you get your prospects? Names, lists, or warm contacts? Look, I personally think that if you just open up your Facebook page and look through your friends list, you will find a great starting point. You should have enough names on there to work your business for at least 90 days, if not more. And I think it's a great place to start, because there's no need to do a top 10 and, think about, why did we used to have those top 10 sheets? Well, when you had a prospect on your names list, the person showing the plan needed to know who that person was and what was interesting to them, and, what were they all about and what kinds of things were going on in their life. Well, Facebook just takes that whole process and simplifies it. Because now when you have a prospect, you click on their page, and if you just scroll down for about, 10 seconds, you're going to get a pretty good idea for where that person's at in their life right now. Whether they're enjoying their life, whether they're, working a lot, whether they're complaining a lot, whether they seem happy, whether they seem miserable, whatever. It doesn't matter. And obviously people don't post 100% of how they're feeling online. Hopefully they have some sort of filter, but again, you get a nice idea. And so identifying your prospects is definitely the next step. And I personally recommend just using Facebook for that, as a starting point, because it will save you a ton of time and help you to just really qualify people right off the bat. So you can start commenting on posts and opening conversations, and then eventually move them off of Facebook to text message or a phone call or whatever. The next step is to engage your prospects, right? You identify who they are. The next step is to engage them both in person and on social media, right? So that means commenting on a post. Wow, the vacation looks beautiful. How is your family? Hey, you're excited. It looks like your kids look great going back to school. Are you excited? Are you going back to work full time as well? Asking questions, just getting people to talk to you. It's really that simple. Now, here's the cool thing. Whether you're prospecting in person or on social media, it's exactly the same thing. So if you have been prospecting, one-on-one, face-to-face, all you need to do is actually open your social media platforms and apply that technique there, and you're already in the game. Right? Now, at some point when they ask you what you're up to, and that's what you should be hoping for, is learning as much as you can about that person so you can identify some needs, identify some hot buttons in their life right now. But then the other goal is for them to ask you what you're up to, right? Well, at that point, you just share your website. And, just say, hey, right now I'm running I'm an internet entrepreneur. I'm running an at-home business, helping other people to do the same. But enough about me. This is my website. Enough about me. What have you been up to? Right? That kind of thing. It's so easy, guys. And by the way, this helps to keep this conversation so natural and so honest and so organic. I absolutely love it. We're at like a high school reunion, and this is when we first got our DRS about 3 years ago, my 10-year high school reunion. And we're hanging out there. And by the way, it was like the weirdest thing, because I grew up in New Jersey. My husband grew up in Massachusetts. So, naturally we don't have the same crew, the same friends from high school, because we grew up 4-hour drive apart, right? But the weirdest thing was, we show up to this high school reunion and everybody's saying hello to me, but they're all saying hi to Ryan. Like, I didn't actually have to introduce him to anybody. Everybody knew who he was. They were like, oh, hey, Ryan, how are you? It's great to finally meet you in person. Your kids are great. Oh my gosh, you guys look like you're doing so well, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my God, social media is so weird. I mean, just think about it. Like, we used to have high school reunions and things like this because people literally lost track of each other and people wanted to know what everyone was up to. Well, everybody already knows what everybody's up to. So when you're having conversations with people and they're getting excited and they're asking questions, and, the easiest thing to do is just send them to your website, and then guess what happens? They go, they check it out, they stalk you a little bit, and then they text you a couple of days or even a couple of weeks later, and they go, okay, I want to know more. Happens every time. And I use that DRS in my personal one, face-to-face engaging, just like I do it on social media. Your DRS is not just, a website that you use when you're prospecting online. You have to keep that in mind, guys, because guys, it was like so easy for me to say, oh yeah, check out my site, give them the website, and then keep the conversation going. Because again, at these kinds of events, you just have to be socially aware. You can't be out like prospecting people like in a way that it feels like you're selling. You know what I mean? First of all, that to me, that's not fun. And I don't think that's fun for many people because it starts to feel like you're compromising the social relationships that you have. And so we don't want to do that, right? You need to be socially aware of what's going on and kind of feel it out. And so again, just having that website, my own personal website to send people to, I just felt like that was so easy. It just took a lot of pressure off of it for me. And I'm not going to lie, guys. I had trouble talking about what I did. Like I didn't know the right way to say what I did. And, I felt like I either over-explained what I did, or I under-explained what I did, or my explanation of what I did seemed so grandiose that like it didn't feel like something that they could do as well. And so, I made all of those mistakes, and that's okay. I made those mistakes, and that's normal. But, I got really good at talking about what I did once I got my website because it was so simple. It just simplified it for me. It made it easier. And, that's what I want for you. And again, you'll use this on social media as well. Step 4 is to follow up. You've identified some qualified prospects. Maybe they see the plans, whatever. Like if you can send them to marketamerica.com for that credibility, that company information, and you can send them to shop.com to view what the shopping website looks like. But look, if you have someone that you want them to see X, Y, and Z, the 22-minute video, read the About MA PDF, and like one other thing, just create a page on your website that does that and send them to that one page. This way you're not sending them links to a million different, videos, resources, downloads, etc. that nobody in their right mind is going to actually click through, right? If it's all on one page, it makes it simple. And by the way, guys, that's extra work, right? We as business owners have to take a little bit of extra time to build that page out. But what is ultimately more important? How convenient it is for our prospects to evaluate this, or how convenient it is for us as business owners to capture that lead, right? And we're business owners, so we need to invest the time. We can't expect the prospect to invest the time because they don't know what they don't know. And we don't want them to miss an opportunity because it was so complicated and inconvenient for them to evaluate some information, if that makes sense. And then again, like I said earlier, the 5th step is to start using some marketing tools. So after you've been engaging your prospects and, really using your DRS with your warm markets, we're going to start talking about engaging prospects and team with email marketing, leveraging SEO and social media tools, the CRM system, all of the other systems that come with the DRS that you can use to both increase your leads and also optimize the follow-up and optimize how you handle those leads. So we'll be going through these in future webinars. So next month, by the way, we are going to be talking about social media tools and SEO tools. So that'll give you a full month to implement the strategies that we're going to go through in just a second. So let's get started. I hope that I have built a case and that you're seeing the light and excited about using your DRS. So let's talk about what you need to do. And like I said, we've been talking about this 1 to 2 hours to get your website set up. What does that mean? What exactly do you need to do? Well, the first thing that you need to do is you need to activate an account. Right? If you don't have an account, you cannot use the DRS. So the first thing to do is to go to explorema.com and fill out that, the fields that are here. Now you can see here, there's all the different web designs that you can choose. Don't worry if you choose the wrong one or if you choose one that you end up not liking, you can change the design at any point and as many times as you'd like. In fact, in just a minute, I'm going to show you how to change a website design if you chose one that you didn't like. But like I said earlier, when I was going through some of the different layouts, I find that the entrepreneur layout is the easiest one to manipulate content in. And so I highly recommend that you start here. You can change the colors, you can change the text, you can change the layout. All of it is a lot easier here because there's not as many layers. All right. Now, once you've done that, once you've filled out all that information, you're going to get a username and a temporary password and a website name. I highly recommend that you print the page or take a screenshot because there's just so many passwords and usernames in the world that I have. I just can't keep track of anything. Actually, I have a little black book that I write everything down in because there's just so many things. So don't make that mistake because You don't want to get all ready and started, and then the first day that you go to finally get ready with your website, you can't log in. That's not always, that's frustrating, right? So it'll be a lot easier if you just write this down. Now, from there, you're going to go ahead and click to sign into your new site, and you're going to use the credentials you were given, this username and this temporary password, right? And here's where you're going to be brought to. Once you've checked out of the process and you've signed in, you're now welcome to your account. This is what the home page of the admin looks like. You see how complicated it is? It's really, really simple stuff. You've got, home, your account information. You can work about, if you want to change your billing up here, you can do that. Customer manager, we're going to talk about how to use this link again in future webinars, the website, and then here are the most popular ones. Update your account, manage your billing, manage your website, manage your domains and email accounts, and to view alerts. So these are just quick links, but they're also available up here. Just one more quick little tip here is that right over here where it says live chat support, that's where you want to make sure that you're clicking on at any point that you need help. Please do not allow yourself to get frustrated or slowed down because you're trying to figure it out on your own. I mean, trial and error is great, but what's really awesome about live chat support is they're not there to do edits for you. They're there to educate you, to teach you so that you can be self-sufficient in managing your website going forward. So by clicking on chat support, all that means is that you have a human, an actual person that's going to walk you through how to do it. You're still going to learn how to do it yourself. It's not like you're going to have to be reliant on them. You're just going to have somebody that knows what to do actually show you how, and just saves a lot of time. There's also a really cool help guide up here. If you click on that, I'm not going to end this, but just give me a second. I want to show you something. There's a bunch of really great PDFs that were created by our team. The Getting Started one is going to recap all the things that we talk about today for phase 1. There's a phase 2. There's all kinds of really great, useful information in there. And not on this page, but the next one, I'll show you that. So step 2 is to choose your design. So most likely you chose that Internet Entrepreneur design, and that's great. But if you didn't, or if you chose a design that you're not happy with, I want to show you how to swap that out. So the first thing that you need to do is click on Manage Your Website. Next, you're going to click on Edit Pages. From there, you're going to click on Home, because what this is a list of all of the pages that exist on your website. And as you can see, before I actually click on Home and advance in this screen, there's only 4 pages or 5 pages. You can add 150 or 1,000 pages. It does not matter. You have unlimited pages that you can add, but it starts with 5, okay? Keeping in mind that you can only edit 1 page at a time. So if you want to edit the Learn More page, or the blog page, or the About Market America page, or if you want to just start a brand new page, that what you need to do is you need to click on the page that you want to edit. So for the purpose of this demonstration, we're talking about changing design. Go ahead and click on the home page. By the way, guys, don't worry if you're not writing this down fast enough. This video is being recorded, and you will be able to review it and pause it and rewind and do all the things that you need to do. Now, once you clicked on Home, what happens is this: an editable version of the homepage is going to appear. So this means that you can now edit anything on the homepage. Really simple stuff. The next step is to click on the website link right up here. From there, you're going to scroll down to the designs and then over to change design. You see that right there? You can also change just the layout of the page, and you can even engage a custom design. So what happens from there is now all of the different layouts that are created for you are loaded up here. And this little arrow here, you can click on that and you'll be able to view even more designs. Now, again, remember, you can change any of the designs that you want. You can make it completely custom. You can build this from scratch. But I recommend starting with that entrepreneur layout. Again, it's just the easiest to edit content with. And if you're truly looking to launch your website in 1 to 2 hours, this is just absolutely the route that you want to go. Unless you really want it to be motives heavy or TLS heavy or shopping heavy, because those designs are really great. They're really dynamic. But if you're not looking to brand, like if you're not a makeup artist and you're all about your salon and your artistry and your experience and motives, it's really a good idea to pick something that's easier to edit. The entrepreneur one and also the NPO layout is also very easy to edit. Now, once you click on a design that you like, so if you're just going to scroll back for a second, when you find the one that you want, just click on that actual website, like click on the picture of the design that you like, and then it's going to say, look, all pages are going to be removed and the new design's default pages will be created. The changes are permanent and they cannot be undone. Are you sure you want to continue? And if you are, then click continue. Now, once your new design is uploaded, you've chosen the new design that you like, the system will put you back to this edit page list, right? These are all the pages that exist. Now, you've done that, you've finalized your design, it's really simple. So we're going to go into and start editing some content. And we're going to start with the home page. This is where everybody should start. So again, we're going to go back here, we're going to click on home. Now, keep in mind this, guys, if you already chose a website design that you like, you don't need to go through that first process that we just talked about. You can just start editing your content right away. That last little, demonstration was just to show you what to do if you chose a design that you weren't happy with. So again, once you click on the homepage, this editable version of the homepage shows up. And what's really cool is as you scroll through different parts of the page, they will highlight. So you see here, when you scroll over this area, it's all highlighted in yellow, right? That means that once I click on that, I can now edit any part of the content that's there. So it's really nice because this way, if I mess something up here, I can just scroll out of it and not save the changes, and I can go back and start over. It doesn't mess up the whole website, just that one section that I'm working on. So again, just keep in mind, these are two important rules to remember. You can edit one page at a time and one section at a time. So when you're ready to edit the text right away, it's called a rich text. When you scroll over it, that's what you'll see. Click anywhere inside of that yellow section and it will make it editable. So it's really simple stuff, guys. Remember how I said there was no coding involved? All you need to do is highlight the different text that you want to delete and delete it. And go ahead and type the new text in just like you were entering text from a Word document. What I recommend that you guys do in this homepage text is just do a small little teaser about yourself. Think of this as your 30-minute or 30-second, definitely not a 30-minute commercial, but a 30-second commercial all about you, all about your experience, who you are, and why you're into this. If you have a Power Profile, you can link to that as well. If you have an About Us page, you can link to that as well. It's really, really simple stuff. But what's really cool is, look, anybody can type in this section because there's no coding involved. Now, if you look at the formatting palette here, it's very similar to a formatting palette that you would see on an email system or on Microsoft Word or any other, editing program. It's really, really easy to use. And so this makes the learning curve a little bit easier because you don't have to really relearn this. It was built in a way that the average user has already used something similar and can apply those skills here, right? So you've got your basic formatting palette, your bold, italicize, underline, alignment, paragraph, fonts. Google Fonts was now uploaded, sizes. You can do some cutting, pasting, table work, HTML if you do want to add custom code, colors, highlighting, symbols, all kinds of stuff. And right here, just keep in mind, this is where you would set up a link or a chain link or unbreak a link. So to just, we'll talk about linking stuff actually in the next webinar when we show you how to link to social media. But just know this, guys, everything is designed that it's like a wizard where you fill out one section and it pushes you to the next step. And you just follow the steps. It's like a game of follow the leader. And if you can just play the game, you'll be fine. So the first step is to add some good text in. So you scroll over the area, you type in that text right here. That's the absolute first thing that you should do. Don't worry about changing colors. Don't worry about any of that. We'll talk about that in the next webinar. But again, you just want to make sure the actual content is personalized to you. Once you're finished making those text changes, it's really important that you remember to click save. If you click cancel, then everything will revert back to what it looked like before. Now, so that's actually a check and a balance. So what's really cool about this is if you happen to mess this up and you absolutely hate the changes in the text that you added and you can't figure out what you did, all you need to do is click on cancel and it'll go back to the way that it was. So that could work in your favor, or if you forgot to save and you meant to save, it could work against you. So just remember that if you want to keep the changes that you made, you always want to click save. All right, so the next step is to change this little default image here and replace it with a picture of yourself, right? Again, because this is a very nice looking couple, but they are not you. And so if you're trying to brand yourself, you probably should put your own picture on there. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to swap out a picture. And this is the exact picture that I'm asking you to swap out. The first step is to click Add to Page. From there, you're going to click on Image. Right? So add to page and you have all these, by the way, I'm just going to back up a second. You see all these cool files? You can add to page images, videos, photo gallery, social media, forms, calendars, menus, all kinds of cool stuff. It's really easy to figure it out. And by the way, again, everything is designed in a wizard style, so it's just follow the leader kind of stuff. But I'm still going to take you through the steps. So add to page and then choose image. Now, once you've chosen image, you're going to click on Upload Images. Now, there's all kinds of preloaded images that are there that you can use, but most likely your DRS did not come with a picture of you in it. And so you need to add it to the library before you can add it to the website. And the way that you do that is you click Upload Image. Now, this process is very similar to sending an email attachment. So if you've ever done that, it's literally like the same exact process. You click on Browse Your Computer, and then it will prompt you to select the file or the picture that you want. And then once you're done with that, click Upload File right here. Now, don't forget to click Upload File. Almost everybody, the first time they go to upload a picture, they select the file and they sit there and they watch it and it's not doing anything and they think it's taking a long time to upload. But in reality, it's just waiting for you to tell them that you can upload the file. Another really cool little tip is that you can actually add multiple images at once. So if you have a whole bunch of pictures that you want to add to your library, you don't have to do this one at a time. You can choose, however many pictures that you want and then click upload files and then it will go ahead and add that to your image library. Now, once you've done that, it's really cool because the image that you upload, and Ryan added a picture of himself, will show up here in the library. So there's an image library that has some preloaded pictures, and then there's all the ones that you're adding, the custom pictures. It's really, really that simple. All he did was browse the computer, select a file, click upload, and now it's in the library. From there, you simply just drag the image and you drop it where you want to go and it shows up where it needs to show up. It's so simple, guys. At that point, you can go ahead and work with the size. You can actually edit the image inside of the text now. All you do is click on that editable area like we did when we were adding text. You can hold the image down, move it up, move it down. You can click the sides and make it smaller. There's all kinds of great stuff that you can do. It is faster if you have the right dimensions of the picture before you upload it, because then all you have to do is literally drag it and drop it. But just know that you can actually edit the image itself by clicking on the image. If you click on the actual image and there's a thing here that has a picture of a tree, that's a cool image formatting tool that you can use as well. All right, the next thing is to edit videos. So if you want to add your own video, so you saw on my website, I didn't want the I'm an entrepreneur video anymore. I wanted the shopping annuity video. So what's really cool about DRS is, again, so this is another really, you guys got to make sure you thank Jeremy for this, because he now has the DRS integrated with the Market America marketing wheel. And what that means is anytime something cool comes out that we could be using, that unfranchised owners can be using to market their business, anytime it's anything, like whether it's a university major or the business itself, an infographic or a video or anything, one of the questions that people that are uploading these tools have to answer is, how can this integrate with DRS? Well, if it should be added to the DRS library, it gets added, which means when you want to see brand new convention videos or new product videos or new product infographics, they automatically get added to your library for you, which I think is brilliant, guys. You now have hundreds of infographics organized by country available to you in your library that you can just be dragging and dropping like pictures into your content. You don't have to upload any of those. You don't have to locate good content that you can make available. We just make it available for you to use as you see fit. So if you want to add some custom videos, all you need to do is click on the video folder right here. Again, if you didn't click add to page already, or if this wasn't open, you would start with add to page and then videos. From there, you'll see all of the preloaded videos that are there. And again, these are constantly being added to. So as new videos become available, we add them for you. But by the way, if you have your own video that you want to add, maybe you made your own, you're making your own videos, or you took a video or something, or there's a video that's not there that you want to use, you can upload it yourself the exact same way that you add a picture. So you would click upload, browse your computer, select the file, and then choose upload, and the new video will be added to your video library. I love that. Another cool thing here is that we have all of the power profiles uploaded. So, this is cool because think about that, guys. When you're prospecting and you want to share your power profile or a specific power profile, and if you're using your website as your prospecting, tool, you don't want to necessarily be directing traffic away from your website to go to YouTube to view a power profile. Isn't it better for them to watch the power profile right on your website so that they never leave, right? They just get the content that you want them to have without having to be redirected to a third-party site. That's very powerful. So we keep this updated. We add the power profiles. We add the new convention videos. We add things as they become available so that all you have to do is drag it and drop it just like you would do with a picture. Another cool thing is if you have a video on there that you want to take off, I want to show you how to do that. You can scroll over it. Remember how I said when you scroll over different areas, they highlight? Well, I'm scrolling over this video right here and it's highlighted in yellow. Now, if I hover over the top left here, it says MA video, and there's a bunch of options. Right? All that you would want to do here is just to remove it. You can either move it up, you could move it down, or you could completely remove the video. Really, really simple stuff. And again, like I said, guys, all of this is pretty easy because when you scroll over this, if you're looking to delete a video, it's pretty obvious that the word remove means delete the video. So, it's hard to not miss that. But again, really, really easy to do. A couple of tips, guys. You want to repeat the steps that we just talked about, which is editing your text and editing pictures and maybe a few videos on all of the pages of your site. Keep it completely simple. Again, you can change the wording, the pictures in the future, or currently, it doesn't matter. You can add brand new pages. We'll be talking about that. But again, in the phase 1 launch, we're keeping it simple. The other big tip, and I've said this a number of times already tonight, is to use that live chat tool for extra help. Don't waste your time trying to figure out something silly that you could have had figured out with just a little bit of help in just 30 seconds. You know what I mean? But remember, you're branding yourself. You need to make it personal. So definitely use the support so that you actually optimize the site. Don't keep it simple by not changing the content because it's just suggested content. And honestly, guys, the content is really about the company. And if you've gotten anything out of tonight's webinar, you need to know that DRS is not just about this company. DRS is about you. And if you're not branding it to you, then you're not using this right. Another few tips. Remove any pages that you may not want to use right away. Because you don't want any pages that are showing up on your website that you're not going to be using, because then when people go there, they're going to be seeing that content. You maybe don't want it there. Make sure your forms are going to your email. If you put the right email in, you're all good, right? Review the site and make sure all of the contact info is correct. Make sure you test it out before you start promoting it and before you publish the site. Now, speaking of all those things, I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, so the first thing that you need to do is know how to delete a page. So I have a blog. My blog is sararosesworld.com, and that is a WordPress blog. Now, this is where I'd like to talk about the difference between WordPress and DRS. So WordPress, in my opinion, is an excellent blogging platform. I love blogging on WordPress. I love how easy it is to add content. I love how the categories, how I can categorize articles. I love it. I love blogging on my WordPress blog. Now, would I ever use that to actually manage my website? No way. Absolutely not. And the real reason is because WordPress is the #1 hacked platform in the country. And so I, as a business owner, as an unfranchised owner, or as any kind of person that takes my professional reputation seriously, I don't want to have to worry about my website being hacked or people's privacy being compromised. I don't know if you knew this or not, don't want to have my website built using tools that are all built by third-party builders, right? And so what I mean by that is, hey, did you know on WordPress, if you want to use social media icons, you have to download a widget built by a third-party contributor, and then use that. And then what happens if they stop updating that tool, or if they delete that tool altogether? Your website is now missing that social media aspect. Same thing is true for any other part of the site. It's kind of like an app store. You pick and choose different apps. And you guys, I don't know about you, but when I click on my app store on my iPhone, there's like 50 apps that haven't been updated in months because I haven't gotten around to it. There's a few that have just completely gone dead. And so is that a business class solution for a website? No, not really. But what it is a really great solution for blogging, because at its core, that's what it is. And so I use my blog for that. Now, one other little tip around blogging: if you're going to blog, you want to make sure that you're doing so at, on a consistent basis. If you're not committed to blogging once a week or even just once a month, don't do it yet. And so one of the things that we have here is we have a blog page built into the DRS. So you can either choose to set this up, or you can choose to delete it. So, just so you guys know, you actually get a free WordPress blog now that's integrated into this as well. That's a brand new feature that's being rolled out. And so you get all of the benefits of their blogging platform, the categorization and, everything that comes with a WordPress blog. You get that for free now instead of having to pay for it, which I think is awesome. But let's say you don't want to blog. Well, if you don't want to blog, then what you don't want is to have a blog page showing up on your website. I'm sure we can all agree on that. So the way to do that is really simple. And you would do this for any page that you don't want on the website. Next to the page that exists, there's a little box. And what you're going to do is click on that little box, and then you're going to click delete. All right, so keep that in mind. What happens when you click on the actual page name? Remember, when you click on that, the editable version of that page is what's going to load. So if you want to delete the page, remember to click on the little box to the left and then click on delete. Next, make sure that you publish your site. So what's really cool about DRS is that you can be working on your website and all the while your website is not down. So while you're making changes to your website, the live version is different from the version that you're working in. If you want your changes to become made live, all you need to do is click on Publish at the top right-hand corner, and your changes will be made live. It's really simple. But just keep in mind that you need to publish the changes first. You can also preview those changes before you publish them right here by clicking on Preview. Lots of really cool options, but the three options that you have are to preview the changes before you publish them, to view the current live site, which is how the rest of the world sees your website, and then to publish any changes that you've made. Please keep that in mind. If you make a ton of changes on here and you save them like you're supposed to, they're just saved on the editor. And that's meant so that you can take as much time as you want to make changes and not have to worry about having your website having incomplete content. So that make sure you click that publish button once you're ready for those changes to be made live. Again, another reminder, I don't know if you're getting this yet. If you're having any issues, just use chat support. They are excellent, and they will work with you for as long as it takes to get your questions answered and to make sure you know what you're doing. Their goal is not to do the work for you. In fact, that's not what they're there for. Their goal is to help you to be able to fish for yourself, right? You give a man a fish, they have dinner for one night. You teach them how to fish, they can eat for life. That's the concept. That is our philosophy, and that's what we're here to do. Now, we're going to go through just two more quick steps, and then we're going to bring this to a close. I know this is going just a little bit longer, but I want to make sure that we're taking the time to really go into everything you need to know. The next thing is to buy and attach a domain name. This is a www. Whatever you want to call your website.com. Now, when you buy a DRS, it comes with explorema.com / whatever name you gave your site. But it's very important actually for you to have a domain name. I mean, honestly, if you're going to brand yourself and go through the hassle and the trouble of putting all of this time in so that you can brand yourself as a professional, then you really, really need to have a domain name, and you need to have an email account that's dedicated to your business. Because look, when you get an email from somebody about a business opportunity, or a professional email, a business email, and it's coming from a Gmail account or Yahoo or AOL or some of those free email providers, that's not professional. If you have a .com name and you have an email address at your .com name, now that's professional. And remember, that's one of your goals, is to brand yourself as an industry professional. And so to do that, you need to have and attach a domain name and set up an email account. It's really easy to do, guys. You can actually buy it right on your DRS platform. So what you do is you click on My Account, you scroll down to Domains and Email. Really simple stuff. From there, you're going to click on Register a New Domain Name. Now, if you already own a domain name with like GoDaddy or some other company, you can choose Use My Existing Domain Name and just link it there. But let's, for the purposes of this demonstration, assume that you don't have a .com name yet, or a .net or a .org or whatever it is that you want for yourself. So you're going to go ahead and select Register a New Domain Name. From there, you can search if there's availability. So this one is searching mycoolsite.biz. You could check the availability, and then it says the following similar domains are available for you to purchase. And you could choose any or one or all of them. So you could choose which ones that you want to buy. You can register for 1 year or longer. It's only $14 for the year. It includes a free automatic renewal protection, which I think is huge, guys. Here's the thing. We have partner stores that you can go through to buy these domain names, and you may save $4. But I think with all of the things that we need to manage today, having this in the back end of our DRS so everything can be managed in one platform is very valuable. And so, if you're okay with the price, $14 a year, pretty inexpensive, then I recommend just buying it through your DRS so that you can just manage it easier. Now, once you have your name, go ahead and select Next and just follow all the checkout steps. It's really, really simple. At that point, your new domain name is going to populate right here under the domains page. And so what you're going to do is click this little box and set it as primary. It's really important that you do that. You need to set the domain as primary, and here's why. You can have as many .com names or .biz names as you want, or whatever domain names you want, and they can all be forwarding to your awesome website. And so keep that in mind, that one of them has to be the primary, okay? Just give it a little bit of time. Sometimes it happens in 30 seconds. Sometimes it takes 15 minutes, and sometimes it can even take a few hours. It just depends on a number of different things. Just keep in mind that that's normal, and just be patient. Don't worry, you did it right. If you registered it there, you set it as primary, just give it some time, and then it will automatically set up so that when you go to the new website domain name, it will be correct. Finally, the last step here is to add a custom email account. So I have you rock it, you're newdrs.com, you're cool, or life is great, or your name. It doesn't matter. You can add as many of these as you want, which is really, really cool. So again, you're probably already in here if you just registered your .com name, but let's talk about how you would add a new email account. You would click on My Account, scroll down to Domains and Email, and then again, you're going to see here that here's the different domain names. This person has 2 domain names set up. Click the little box next to the email that you want to connect it to, and then from there, you're going to click on Manage Email Accounts, right? So if you're setting up an email for this one, My Awesome Website, then you would click the box here and then Manage Email Accounts. In this example, we want to do Your Awesome Website. Click the little box, click on Email Accounts. At that point, you're going to choose to create a new one. You can also change any passwords that you've forgotten here. You can delete them. You can edit them. There's all kinds of great things you can do. But for this example, we're going to create a new email account. You do that by just filling out the form, right? Give yourself a name. So this is Life is Good at Your Awesome Website. Put your first name, your last name, the email type, and we're going to set it up as a mailbox. Set up a password, confirm it, and I always recommend it's defaulted to 200 megabytes, but I always recommend upping it to 1024. Simple little things that you can do, and then you go ahead and save it, and your new email address is set up. Now, If you want to just set up a forwarding email address, you can do that. So what that means is that if you want Life is Good at your awesome site to forward to your Gmail account, for example, then you would change the email type from mailbox to forwarder. And so you would set up the email that you want to set up, still put your name, still put your last name, choose forwarder, and then where is it going to forward to? The recipient would be whatever name you want at your, at whatever email address you want. Does that make sense? So here's the deal, guys. If you're gonna be an internet entrepreneur, I highly recommend just setting up a mailbox type of email account. This way, it just keeps all your business emails separate, and you just have one extra email account to manage. It's just actually a lot easier if you think about it, because you don't have to sift through other personal stuff to find your business stuff. So I recommend doing a mailbox setup. But if you're the kind of person where managing just one email account is too much for you, then a forwarding option like the one that you see on the screen right now is probably a great option for you, because then you're just managing the existing email account that you have, and you have this nice professional name so that the outside world sees the professional name, but really it's going to your Gmail, and it's a lot easier for you. It depends on what your preference is and what you're comfortable managing. Now, Series 1 recap. This is your to-do list. Typically, these are going to be about more closer to the hour to 75-minute mark. Next week, we'll talk about what we're going to expect, but in week 1, you need to launch your DRS site. If you don't have one, remember to go to explorema.com and set up an account. Choose the design that you like. Make basic text edits and picture edits. Purchase and attach a domain name, set up your email account, review your content, and publish your website. You should be able to do all of this in just 1 to 2 hours, especially if you're using tech support. Now, if you have any issues, just click on live chat support. They will help you with all of this. This video is going to be available on mawc411.com. When you click on training and support and then scroll down to webinars, I'm going to create a 4th playlist, which is going to be all of the DRS videos, and you'll be able to review all of these slides and also the actual video of tonight's presentation as well. So next week, next month, we're going to be covering how to attach social media links, how to create links in general, how to use the SEO strategy. Then we're going to talk, once you've set up these links and set up your SEO, what are some application ideas? How can you socially share using your DRS in the most effective way? What are some tips for following up with the new leads that you get from DRS? Ryan and I get leads every single day coming through our DRS, and leads are only as good as you can follow up with. And so we want to make sure that as your website is working and as you're getting results and people that are interested, that you understand what the next steps are so that you're handling them with care. So guys, I hope that you'll join us for Series 2. And again, this is being recorded and will be uploaded on mawc411.com on the webinars page. And I look forward to working with everybody over the next couple of months.